Y'all ready for the bonus? So, the best way to study your childhood with inner peace. I'm gonna make this one really easy for you today. One thing, be willing. Be willing to see your life from the perspective of an architect, not a victim. Be willing to look at your life from the perspective of, I intended to be here, not I fell here out of nowhere and everybody is not looking out for me. When I go to my childhood, I am willing to look at, how did I co-create this? What was my intention behind it? And even as a kid, I knew the vibes. There were people I wouldn't listen to. There were people that I knew that they were not in alignment with me, even as a kid. So I could look at my childhood and see how I knew back then what was in alignment with me and what wasn't. It's really exciting. So be willing to see yourself from that perspective. Be willing to see how you architected some of these experiences, even as a child, because you knew what was best for you. Be willing to be uncomfortable as you hold space for yourself and others. Going into our childhood can be a very uncomfortable experience because it requires that we are able to hold space for ourselves. And when we are operating from a space of power, it also requires that we are able to hold space for other people in their journey and whatever they went through. And that can be challenging because my mother, she was in the United States when I was in Honduras for quite a bit of my life. And there was a bit of resentment there. And going into my childhood and healing that resentment has required that I'm willing to hold space for her in her journey because she wasn't just here to be my mother. She isn't just here to be my mother. She's her own person. Willing to let go of your attachment to emotions that drain your joy. This may come as a surprise to you. Hopefully won't. We be attached to these emotions that drain us. We be attached to feeling angry. We be attached to feeling resentful. We be attached to complaining. It gives us a set of identity, a sense of familiarity. And in this journey, in order for you to study your childhood with calm and with ease, you gotta be willing to let that go. You gotta be willing to let go of that attachment to the emotions that drain your joy so you can amplify the emotions that overflow your joy, that expand your joy. And then the last thing I want to say is be willing to allow yourself to feel good about your childhood, no matter what. This has been a very powerful part of the process of studying my childhood with calm and with ease, is allowing myself to feel good about my childhood. Yes, there were a lot of things that were traumatic. I'm not about to go into them in this video. There were a lot of things that I didn't like. And at the same time, y'all, I had an amazing childhood. I grew up walking distance from the beach. I was in a place where I knew everybody, very community centered, very traditional practices. Like I knew I came from a very, amazing group of people. And there are people, so people be people in. And at the same time, it was still a very amazing childhood. And I enjoyed it and I had beautiful memories of it. And the more I allow myself to feel those beautiful memories, the more joyful my life is, the more peace I allow myself to experience. So that's what I have for your bonus today. Did you like it? Did you appreciate that? Is that hitting or what? Did you like it? Does it matter whether you like it? It doesn't. Did it serve you though? Did it serve you? Did it feel, did it touch your spirit? That's what I want to know. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to be covering making peace with your past and what you can do to navigate that season with ease. We just talked about looking at our childhood and studying our childhood. Ooh, excuse me. Energy has been moving through my body a lot. So quite a bit of burping over the last 6 months. And I'm not pregnant. We're going to be talking about making peace with the past because as we are looking at our childhood, we're going to want to make peace with this past. There are some things about our childhood that we may not have made peace with. There are some things in the past in our lives that we have not made peace with. And in that moment, you'll have an opportunity to unpack what it is and look at how you can approach it differently. So we're going to cover that in the next video. Thank you for joining me today, mis amores. This was a vibe. I feel like I'm really getting into my flow with this series, y'all. For those of you that are submitting your applications to work with me, I am excited. I am looking forward to reading them. into chatting with you and seeing you on the other side. Okay? My name is Yanori Pouncil. I am the guiding light to thought leaders and conscious high achievers that are being the best version of themselves, trusting their inner voice, cultivating their inner peace, and enjoying their lives every step of the way. And I'm here to make sure that you see things clearly. Thank you for joining me today. And remember that you are a vibe. Hasta luego, mis amores.